This is a 2018 850 Sportsman Highlifter edition. Today I am going to put a new exhaust and the tuner on. Get rid of this giant power robbing can back here. And for this we got the Big Gun Evo slip-on. Just open it up. This is the stuff that came with here. And also got the power box here. Should be all pretty easy plug and play stuff. And so here we go. First thing I'm gonna do is take this little shield off the side, on the right side. It's two 10mm bolts that are on there. Good luck if you can find a 10mm socket. Once that bracket's off, you'll find a couple springs under there, and there's a couple more under the bottom. It says just to slide those off, and this should slide right out. So next up, in the instructions, they don't tell you you have to take these little side guards off, which are also 10mm. Once you take those off, then you have to also take the rack off, which is the T27 bolts that are in there. There's 3 on each side, and then there's two in the center in the back, 2 in the center in the front. You gotta slide the rack off, and the support bar you can just lift up and slide forward. But then you have to slide the box up, your storage box, because the stupid hangers on the factory muffler on an 18, maybe it's different on a 17. These right here, this one catches on the storage box in the back, and you can't slide the muffler out until you slide this up just enough to slide it through. But now all that's off, and the new one should slide right on. And we got that right here. So the phone's probably a little jittery, but this should just slide right up in here and connect right there. We'll put the old springs back on, and we'll see how this works out. Alright, so I have put the muffler in. You do have to take these little springs off of here to adjust this from the muffler. The new one comes with a bracket instead of the hangers like the other one did. It does supply the bolts to go through the hanger hole, but it is, a pain in the butt to get to it. You do have to lift the glove box out of the way to get to it and to install the thing. But once you got these little springs off of here, you can adjust this end piece and get it lined up there. It is a little more work than just sliding the old one off, and sliding the new one in, as the instructions that come with it imply. But I'm probably only 30 minutes into this or so, and just need to tighten everything up, and it looks like I'll be done with this part, and just put a rack and stuff back on. Alright, so here's what it looks like put back on. You do have to retain the factory springs for the top, and they are pretty stiff, so it's a little bit of a workout getting those ones back on. I think the length from the old one and the new ones is a little bit different. Seems like they're stretched out a little farther on the new one, and then the red ones that come with it are pretty simple. And while I got the box still, the storage box here, still lifted up, so you can see it just gets bolted in there on both sides. It is a 13mm nut and bolt, so you'll need a socket and a wrench, and that is what it looks like underneath. And I'll start putting everything back together. Everything is installed back on there, bolted up, rack's back on there, everything's tight, and that's what it should look like when you're all done. Looks pretty smooth. on to the tuner. Alright, for this part, I do have to take off this little side panel here. It's got one screw and 3 of the little push pins that hold it in, as well as your seat has to come off. And then you have to unplug down in here is, you can see it, there's one right there is your fuel injection, and the other one is back here. It is a little difficult to get to the second one. It's a pretty tight fit back in there. And then from there, we just got to plug this in, and we need to strategically wire it so that it comes out up here, because you can program it on the fly. So probably I'll have to take off this piece right here as well. Let me find a way to wire this and we'll be right back. Alright, so I just wired it down through this little space here underneath the steering cluster, speedometer stuff, and it just came out down here, and I'm just going to route it up into behind this box right here, and I've already just plugged it in to the injectors, and then you got this little bit of extra wire. You just need to tie this up in here, and then you still have a ground wire, which they recommend running right to the battery, which I'm going to probably do that next, and then we should be ready to fire it up. So I'm going to clean this up real quick and find a way to run this ground wire to the battery. Alright, so now we have run the ground wire. I pulled the top cover off here, just the 2 pullback snaps. I also removed the grill and the headlights. You see here, all this is just the a couple of the push pins on the side, one on each side, and then just 4 bolts on the front, as you can see here. Those are the 13 millimeter, and then I just came down, I can't really see, but just came down up in there and just ran straight to the battery for the ground. Now I'm going to put this stuff back together on the front here, just the little bracket there, and then the front grille with the headlights, and then I should be ready to fire it up. Alright, so I'm all finished up. Took about an hour total for everything, muffler and the tuner. This is all the extra parts that you should have when you're done. It's the 2 muffler, the heat guards there, and the muffler. Everything's wrapped up, put back together, cleaned up. There's the muffler. And I just got to zip tie this little extra bit of wire right here for the tuning box, which I'm just gonna, it comes with a piece of 2-sided tape. I'm just gonna stick it right here. Apparently you can shift on the fly with it. And that's it. Pull it out of here, out of the garage here, and fire it up, and see how it sounds.